Man. So in today's video, we got to talk about Stephen A. Smith going on another podcast yet again to talk about LeBron James. This time, Stephen A. Smith went to Carmelo Anthony's podcast. Just the other day, he was on Ryan Clark's Pivot podcast.
Now, look, I ain't gonna lie. This is one thing I don't agree with, okay? Is that the podcasts and the platforms that Stephen A. Smith is going on, these are all close friends of LeBron James. So you going on these podcasts, you got to realize how they looking at you. You're not in your playing field. Like, you got to be smarter with this if you're going to do this.
Sitting here trying to talk about racial stuff with LeBron James, talking about, oh, LeBron James don't go at white boys, so why is he going at me?
You know, you bring up LeBron. You ever see LeBron go at a white boy? It's called what it is. You ever see him do that? You ever see someone come at me?
Stephen A. Smith got to understand, too, LeBron is on a certain pedestal where you can't go at certain people, bro, because these people are the ones writing your checks. Let's start there. So him saying these things on these platforms, that right there gave him an L. It's 0-1 right now. LeBron up.
Why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that. Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am.
You got into a name-calling situation with the president?
No, a name calling. What'd I say? Let me hear you say it.
Called him a bum.
It's not a name call. You bum.
So again, man, you know, Stephen A. Smith pulled a race card on LeBron James. This time he's trying to change the narrative of how LeBron James confronted him.
He got to understand, too, LeBron is a father, bro. If you're going to talk about his kid, I think any man would approach a man about this directly, face-to-face, versus going back and forth on social media. That's how real men do it, right?
Why is LeBron trying to make it seem like I attack people's families? He does stuff like this because, you know, people's not going to be able to point out, okay, does Stephen A. Smith attack people's families? No. What you do is attack black players, and we can pull out decades history of that.
Now, look, I'm not going to say one is right and the other one because I'm not on nobody's side, but one thing I can understand for athletes is people say stuff on a daily through social media, through sports centers, and athletes have to be quiet and just take this. And then the moment an athlete stands up for himself, then media wants to be like, oh, I didn't say this, I didn't mean it this way. No, bro, you said what you said what you did. Now stand on it as a man. Simple.
So why is Stephen A. Smith not on Fox News like he normally does? As a matter of fact, he has multiple platforms of his own, but he knows it's not going to look good. So now he has to go on these platforms like the Pivot podcast, like Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and I'm pretty sure he has a full tour run lined up.
Another thing I don't understand too about these reporters is, like, especially these black reporters and media, y'all should be trying to push positivity for every black African-American athlete. Y'all should be the main sources of trying to push good news. And I don't like how they're taking a certain side and it's like all the athletes have to get together, come into media to change the narrative of how athletes are, how they carry themselves, and the truth behind certain stories that haven't even been spoken of.
Let me get to LeBron. I don't like his not a little bit. You do not understand the links this man would go to. This dates back more than a decade. I believe he's one way publicly, he's another way privately. You know, he might not be interviewed and he might not be quoted, but the things he says and the things he has said to people, it's gotten back to me. The things that he's tried to do, if it were up to him, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I mean, Stephen A. has to understand this is how everybody acts that has a professional job, right? He even acts the same way. Nobody's going to act and say the certain terminology, slang that they will say around their friends and family. When they get in front of interviewers in media, y'all like to twist their words up and they might not even have meant that for clicks and views, right? That's something I don't agree with.
It's some low. The day that he rolled up on me courtside, it was the day my contract was announced, that I had stayed with ESPN. Go back and look at the camera angles. I arrived there in the first quarter. He rolled up on me in the third quarter. This is 2025. We got technology everywhere. TNT is a nationally televised game. How is it we got one angle and the only angle you see was of him and his face, but you see the back of my peanut head? I know this, but I know a thing or two about camera angles. I determine them half the time.
Yep.
Do this angle, do this angle, do that angle. This is my business.
I ask you straight up, do you think you felt set up in that moment?
Damn right I did.
You thought he had somebody out there too?
Damn right that did.
Okay.
Damn right. That's how I feel.
Okay.
But y'all talk about these people on social media all the time. If y'all don't like this, see, this is the thing I don't like about media people, right? They love to say certain things about people, but the moment it's being done to them, they do not like it.
No big deal. No problem. Because I go on the air the next day and I'm like, that's a dad reacting to his son. Happens on a Thursday. That's a Friday. That's Saturday. Richard Jefferson is doing the game in Boston. He's still mic'd. He's working for ESPN. And we see LeBron say to him, yo, man, when he said, as a father, I had it. So I'm thinking, oh, that's not about Bronny. That's about you. Okay, let's talk about you as a father from this perspective. Oh, he ends up getting drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations, no problem. Oh, he ends up being there opening night, that father-son moment.
How many people in media was bashing Bronny? He's not ready for the NBA. That was everywhere on social media. How do you think LeBron felt about that? And he stayed quiet for a moment. And he has to watch his son watch all of this on his feed. And I'm pretty sure behind closed doors, Bronny feels emotionally about that. And I'm pretty sure every father out there, you would eventually have to say something. And that will take a toll on you.
With Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. in attendance, I was there at the game, standing up, clapping, no problem. It became a problem when this brother was in the G League, and then the next day, J.J. Redick decides to bring him in the first quarter and ask him to guard Tyrese Maxey. If you could literally feel or see somebody drooling at the mouth, give me the ball. That was Tyrese Maxey. It was a nightmare. And I'm like, you can't do that to him. But you also can't do that to us.
Hold on. Why can't you do that to him, though? Why not? You're in the big leagues now. You have to be ready for when your name is called. That's how being an athlete works.
The media, now you asking us not to cover the game. The last straw was not him rolling up on me on courtside. If you sat up there and said, yo, LeBron pissed off, he needs to talk to you man to man, and I was in New York, what would I do? I'd be on the next plane to L.A. And then you gonna turn around and come on ESPN with Pat McAfee? You gonna come on my channel on a show that comes on after me just to dog me? Nah. And what you dogging me about? Be a man. Yo, I don't like him either. Cool. Nah, I have to protect my family. That's the narrative you playing? Yo, bro, when I tell y'all, you can't measure the level of how pissed off I have been over that. There is no level of disrespect that has ever been accorded to me in my life, more so than what he did. To try to paint me as somebody who would attack somebody's family, knowing I've never done it, I can't tell you how offensive I find that.
Come on, man. Stack 5 said that about you days before you even went on the Pivot podcast.
You get loud and all in your feelings about Bron. When Bron, he talking to a black billionaire, but when you talking to a white billionaire, you humble. And you come back on your show talking real respectful, mild manner, man. Hey, bro, listen, bro. And you dogging the black women, stay out of politics, and stick to talking about sports you never played. All right.
And y'all see that one little moment of him saying that goes to show you a lot of athletes don't got respect for him, because he doesn't take the time out of his day to actually sit down and talk with these athletes of how the media crucifies them on a daily. So now guess what? The athletes have to come in and take over the media, and these media people don't like that. So people like Stephen A. Smith has to bash them, which isn't cool. Man, y'all stay tuned to the next video, man, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.